Feel practice went yesterday afternoon?
Just good to be out there. I think anytime you can get out on the practice field with all those guys and get them moving around and get some things installed, it's fun to be out there. But a lot of work to do. You know, day one, no pads, but I thought energy was good, and it's good to be practicing football again.
When you turned on the tape, who stood out? What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're far enough along to really have standouts. You know, it's more we want to see good effort, want to see guys just retaining things from the spring. And just trying to execute at a high level, but I don't know without pads on what you can really take from it other than, you know, high energy and high effort.
Is because you talk about not having the pads, is these couple days more of like a holding pattern, like you said, of just getting back to where you were rather than actually getting any further along because you don't have pads?
I mean, I think you can obviously make strides with execution and operation and communication, but just as far as playing football, you play football with pads on, and so knowing who stood out or who didn't, it's tough to assess that.
What was it like with the fans up there?
That's awesome. Great juice. I know our players really appreciate that. Anytime there's people watching them, they know we have an incredible fan base, and they really have fun with it.
It seemed like after his first couple of passes, Kyler calmed down, very accurate. How did he look yesterday? I mean, is there anything you can tell, like you said, no pads?
Yeah, not really. I mean, he's a very accurate passer. You don't get to be the number one pick without doing that, so that's nothing new. I just want him to continue to work on operation and comfort level and get on the same page with those receivers, and that's what we'll keep trying to do.
What is a guy like system where you kind of spread the field out width-wise? How vital is good offensive tackle play, because they're going to have to win their fair share of one-on-one battles?
Yeah, I think offensive tackle play in this league in general is huge, and we'll see. You know, how it plays out for us. We're excited about having Marcus and a healthy DJ, and we think, you know, they can be very good players, and but we got a long way to go.
What does a guy like Larry bring to your locker room and just out on the field?
Everything. I mean, I talked about it yesterday. Just on the field, you know, max effort. He makes that one-handed catch, and I'm waving Andy, and like, Andy, go get him, and he's waving Andy off, get off the field. You know, I'm like, all right, go again. You know, I mean, that's who he is, and it's the same way in walkthroughs, and he's early to every meeting, and you know, the work ethic is through the roof, and then off the field, the way he treats people and learns people's names and cares about people. It's just, he's a special individual.
What do you think Kyler can learn from him?
Like I said, everything. I mean, if you can do it that way, nobody's ever done it better, I don't think, in sports on and off the field as Larry Fitzgerald. So he's as good as it gets.
Coach, what were you thinking when he made the one-handed catch?
I looked kind of surprised, and Coach Sullivan was right there, and he's like, yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I'm like, all right. But no, they act like it's second hat around here. So, but no, it's just fun to see a guy like that still play with that type of enthusiasm and energy.
What about the swing tackles you have working behind your starters? There's a few of them. Is one above the other? Where are they at right now?
Yeah, and I don't think we can make that assessment yet. You know, we'll know once we get the pads on. But we like some of the prospects we have and some of the guys we have. It's just seeing who steps up and who kind of wins those battles.
Chandler came through yesterday and stripped the ball out of Kyler. He said afterwards, I don't want to do that. That's not the time I want to do. What was your reaction to that?
No, I mean, that's part of it, and he understands we try to stay away from the quarterbacks, but you also want to give max effort, which he does every snap, and those things happen, and we just have to be careful and make sure we keep people healthy.
Do you appreciate work ethic a little bit more because of the work ethic that you were brought up with and one that you have now?
No, I just think I've been lucky enough to be around people that have had some insane work ethic. You know, in the NFL, it started, you get drafted to the New England Patriots, and you watch that guy every single day and what he puts into it and dedicated his whole life to being the best ever, every facet of it. I just think I've been fortunate enough to see some examples of that and the dividends that it's paid.
Are there a lot of parallels between Tom's work ethic, forget the avocado ice cream, and Larry's in terms of how they
Yeah,
approach things?
there are, and also the type of people they are. You know, you can't find one person say a bad word about either of them, and it's because, you know, Tom was the same way. He took the time to learn people's names, and if it was a ball boy out at training camp, he'd get to know who they were and their family and how they're doing, and it's just, they're unique human beings.
Tom's like 40 plus. He threw a spiral the other day at 61 miles an hour. What's your thoughts about that?
I saw Patrick, I think, threw like 62, something like that. So that's insane. But I haven't been around him. He has a monster arm. He always has. And I think he's somehow got that reverse aging thing down. So nothing he does surprises me anymore.
That's like 20 years younger, too.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It was surprising, at least to me, that you've scheduled so many open practices in this training camp. What was the thought process behind that? Why not keep things under wraps more?
Yeah, I think, it starts from the top, and as an organization, we want fans to be excited about what this team's going to be, offensively, defensively, special teams, and we want them involved, and that's really what it's all about at the end of the day.
How's the communication going?
I yesterday in various configurations, is that the base set, do you think?
It's not. We really don't have a base set. We're going to hop through different things throughout training camp and see where we're at, what fits. Like I said, it's a lot of wait and see and see who our best players are, and we'll put those guys out there.
How was the communication with the headphones in front of a live crowd with the music going?
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. Like I said, we've practiced that a ton, and that'll be an ongoing process, but I feel pretty comfortable with it.
Now that you've been here a few days, the lay of the land, how do you like the setup with the hotel facilities?
Yeah, it's first class. I mean, everything's very accessible. Michael's put a lot of money into that to make sure the players have a great level of comfort and ease with which to maneuver and practice and take care of their bodies, and so it's been fantastic.
Some coaches have liked keeping the practice times the same each day. What do you like about switching it up?
Yeah, I think coaches and players have to adjust and be ready to adapt and be flexible, and it's kind of like, during a season you don't know exactly when you're going to play at times, or different things can come up weather-wise that make you adjust, and so it just gets you in that habit.
How anxious are you to see what all of the different things you can do with David Johnson?
Yeah, I've seen a lot. The type of wideout he can be, when he's not running the football. I think he's one of the better running backs in the game, and one of the better receiving running backs in the game. And so you combine those things with, hopefully a dynamic player at quarterback. There's a lot of things you can use them doing.
What's your take on how Robert Demichi showed up to camp?
Not in shape, I guess, and that's kind of where we'll leave it. I mean, he's on PUP, and he's working through that, and when he is cleared, we'll work with him.
Anybody close to getting cleared off the top?
Still day to day on a lot of those guys, but I think Brooks Reed is one that saw his name come up. I expect him back soon.
Pads tomorrow?
Pads tomorrow.
Coach, you probably addressed this with Kyler going back, but how do you see him interacting with his teammates, specifically the wide receivers, and his ability to get them in the right spots? How do you see that communication?
I mean, good. He's played quarterback his entire life. He knows how to talk to those guys and the O-linemen and what it takes to be a leader and get those guys respect. And I think what helps Kyler is having a good sense of this offense. It's not like he's coming in and learning stuff that the receivers already knew. He knows it as well, if not better than everybody. I think that gives him some of that street cred you need, where if he corrects a guy, they understand it's coming from a good place.
You mentioned yesterday not really having time to process things like this is the first day of training camp and stuff like that, but was there any moment during practice where that set in a little more?
I don't think so. I think, like I said, I just enjoy the coaching aspect of football and being out there with the guys, and so it's fun to me, but there wasn't a lot of reflecting going on.
With you guys running a different offense than probably a lot of teams in the NFL, do you guys have to plan out more pro-style looks just to get your defense more prepped for the regular season, or is that far off?
Yeah, I think when you're talking walkthroughs and different things, there's different sets that we're going to be working through defensively that we may not see as prominent, during training camp versus our guys, and so we'll definitely have that going.
Well, you're very active on the field, and you're always working with quarterbacks, obviously. Could you ever envision not being that style coach, not running the drills and being as hands-on as you are?
Yeah, I think so. I just, right now, that's, where I feel most comfortable. It's where I think I can be the most beneficial, and so that's, the style that I approach it with.
Coach, thank you.
Thank y'all.